Beyond contrast, returning to peaceful presence, we often believe that the deepest illusion is fear, or the ego, or even separation. Let me propose something that might even create deeper illusions than fear, ego, or separation. Perhaps the deepest illusion is contrast itself. Perhaps returning to peaceful presence is relieving oneself from the concept of contrast. Perhaps peaceful presence is what remains when contrast is no longer required for identity. Everything the human mind knows is known through contrast. Light is understood because there is darkness. Warm because there is cold. Pleasure because there is pain. Life because there is death. Self because there is other. The mind cannot know without comparison, and contrast is its language. Yet what if consciousness, peaceful presence, does not know through contrast at all? What if peaceful presence simply is, without comparing itself with anything else? Without it winning over its opposite? Without it having to become something? It simply is. In this view, peaceful presence is the undivided reality before any distinction exists. Without the need for darkness as the opposite of light, without the contrast of emptiness as the opposite of fullness. Only the silent, unmanifest potential from which every possible experience may arise. Darkness, not seen through the lens of evil or ignorance, but as untouched wholeness. The monad in Gnostics, the one in our work, all that is. Without contrast, nothing has yet been illuminated because nothing yet needs to be distinguished. Then something extraordinary happens. Because of perceived lack, or existence becoming lonely, or because something needs fixing? No, because infinite potential naturally contains the possibility of reflection. It simply can. Perhaps the first movement within infinite potential or consciousness is not a thought, or a command, or proclaiming, "Let there be light." Perhaps it is simply the first resonance, the first wonder, the first O, the first Om, the first reflection. And in that very reflection, light is born. Light is not the opposite of darkness. Light is the birth of distinction, of contrast. The first manifestation appearing in the unified foundation of darkness. The moment something becomes distinguishable, the moment experience becomes possible, the moment manifestation begins. From light comes perspective, as we have seen before in our videos, a direction, a point from which experience occurs. From perspective comes perception. Experience becomes personal, memory forms, beliefs emerge, meaning develops, identity slowly crystallizes. Then comes the most subtle movement of all, contrast, the identification through difference. This instead of that. I am this. I am not that. This is where the ego quietly comes alive. The ego may not actually be born from thought itself. It may be born from the need for contrast, because identity requires comparison. Without contrast, there is nothing to defend, nothing to prove, nothing to fear, nothing to become. The ego therefore survives by continuously generating new contrasts. Better versus worse, success versus failure, light versus darkness, awakened versus asleep, spiritual versus material. Even enlightenment can become another contrast. Its greatest illusion may therefore not be fear. Its greatest illusion may be convincing us that one more contrast will finally end contrast. One more insight, one more awakening, one more identity, one more healing, one more lifetime, one more answer. Yet every new contrast quietly recreates the very structure from which we are attempting to escape. Perhaps this is the mind's true ace of space, not just deception, but endless differentiation. The endless promise that freedom lies in becoming something else, in contrast to the someone we already are. Peaceful presence offers an entirely different invitation, and it is not about choosing a better contrast. not even choosing darkness instead of light. It is to recognize that both belong to the world of distinction. Peaceful presence exists before both. It does not require contrast. Liberation, therefore, is not moving toward another experience, nor escaping into another reality. Liberation is the gradual dissolving of the necessity for contrast itself. As contrast softens, identity softens. As identity softens, separation softens. As separation softens, peaceful presence naturally reveals itself. Nothing new has been created or recreated. Nothing has been achieved or conquered. Nothing has fundamentally changed or needs to be. Only the illusion that contrast was necessary to know oneself quietly dissolves. Perhaps remembering is nothing more than this, no longer requiring this to know that, no longer requiring me to know you, no longer requiring light to know peace, because peace was never hidden. Only the countless contrasts projected by the conditioned mind temporarily drew our attention away from it. The journey home is therefore not toward more light, nor toward more darkness. It is toward the silent mystery from which both arise. Does this mean the end of contrast is emptiness? No, it does not. It is the rediscovery of the undivided peaceful presence that has quietly remained beneath every experience, every identity, every lifetime, and every search. Nothing needed to become whole. Wholeness simply no longer needed contrast to recognize itself.